This playoff recap is brought to you by IBC Bank. IBC Bank, we do more. 7 to 7 Dental, a better kind of dental practice for the whole family. And by Greg Sherman Videography. Call 419-902-3353 for all your videography needs in San Antonio and the Texas Hill Country. 5A football has been very good the last couple of years for Harlan and Wagner. The two heavy run-based offenses meet up in the third round of the 5A Division I playoffs here at the Alamodome with a chance to move on to December football. Harlan has already broken the record for the most wins in the first 2 years of a San Antonio program. They're at 20. They broke the record that was held by Brandeis in 08 and 09. They're tied with the 09 Broncos for the most wins by a second-year program at 12. Brandeis went 12-2 and went to the quarters in 09. For Wagner, they're 11-1 on the season. They're only lost to their former 6A rival in Converse Judson, and they've steamrolled through everybody else throughout the season. The matchup probably is going to come down to who can stop the run game better. Harlan's led by number 2 Aubrey McDade. He passed the 2,000-yard rushing plateau last week in that game against Victoria West. Wagner's led by another number 2 themselves. That's L.J. Butler, a big focal point on the state semifinal team from a year ago. He's at 1,900 rushing yards for the season, so a big game today, and he should pass the 2,000-yard rush mark. Which defense could stop the other's number 2 running back? Well, we're already inside of the Alamodome, so we don't have to take you into the dome, but let's check out the highlights brought to you as always by IBC Bank and 7 to 7 Dental and Orthodontics. The coin you see is the state championship coin that referee Charlie Wernette used during the captain's meeting. His crew worked a 2A state final a couple of seasons ago up in Arlington, and he showed off his coin to the captains so they could see what their ultimate prize was. Heavy fog rolled in outside the Alamodome, which didn't affect the game since it was indoors, but the two defenses looked lost in the fog in the opening half. In the first 22 minutes, there were 12 combined possessions. The teams combined for 9 touchdowns and only 3 stops. 3 other touchdowns were called back by penalty, but each was eventually scored. The Thunderbirds had 344 rushing yards in the opening half, while Harlan did most of their work through the air. The game would eventually feature 2 running backs and a wide receiver, each over 200 yards, and a quarterback throwing for over 400 yards.
We just came out ready to play. We knew we had to execute on offense, do our job. It was good passes from QB, and we just knew it put me in the right spot to execute. Cannon's my guy. We on and off the field, we're gonna do what we gotta do, and we're gonna put in the work we gotta put in.
He's a big guy. He's fast. I mean, he's gonna beat a lot of corners, so I'm just giving him a chance. We knew it was gonna be a shootout. We stuck to our game plan, and we knew we could beat him over the top, and that's what we were doing.
The defenses eventually began to slow down the offenses with a couple of late stops before halftime. Wagner led 35-27 at recess, but it could have been more. Quarterback Isaiah Williams back to pass, but he was hit by David Meyer. Ball squirted loose and was eventually recovered by Louis Cannon, and instead of having a double-digit lead going into the locker room, Wagner was up just a single score.
Honestly, that play was really big to us because, really helped us give us some momentum. It changed the momentum of the game coming into halftime.
The second half saw much better defense on both sides, which began with a curious call for the Hawks. 4th and 2 for Harlan at their own 24. Quarterback Cannon Williams lined up over center, then dropped back in what looked like a pooch kick setup. But a bad snap from center imploded the play, and Williams was sacked by 3 Thunderbirds in red at the 19. 3 plays after the stop, Jorel Brown toss sweep left for 14 yards in the score, 42-27 Thunderbirds. There were 62 points scored in the first half, but that was the only score by either team in the third quarter as the defenses bowed up in the second half.
Don't give up, because he asked if we wanted to keep on playing. We kept telling ourselves this ain't finna be our last game. So we just had to have that mentality going throughout the whole game.
Wagner nearly ended the game on the next Harlan series. Williams passed over the defense but was picked off by Avante Stevens. The senior ran it all the way back 52 yards for the touchdown that would apparently break open the game. However, a blindside block against Wagner negated the run back and the touchdown, but the interception still held, which meant the T-Birds were in great position once again. Later in the possession, 4th and 4 inside the Harlan 10. Williams faked the handoff, rolled right, threw for Adrian Villarreal in the end zone, but a great pass breakup by Zanes of Aboda to knock the ball down and keep Harlan in the match. The pick six called back was the fourth touchdown of the game called back by penalty, and the only one that was not later scored on.
We just knew that in order to win the ball game, we had to get some stops. So coaches made adjustments. We adjusted. We knew we could keep up with them. I mean, we've gotten that far.
Hawks needed fourth quarter magic down 42-27, and they would get it. First play of the quarter, Cannon Williams hit as he threw, but managed to hit Jacory Logan for a 14-yard score. Two-point conversion failed 42-33. Cameraman Juliet Bunsen wasn't ready for the ensuing kickoff, and neither was Wagner. A muff left the ball on the ground, and it was found by Elijah Guerrero to set up Harlan in Wagner territory. That leads us to our IBC Bank Do More play of the game. Third and goal from the 9, Williams scrambled, stopped just short of the goal line, but look at number 63, Marco Cifuentes. He reenacted the old Bush push to get the quarterback over the line for the score. Usually being pushed from behind by a big guy doesn't feel good, but in this case, it felt great.
I didn't know he pushed me until somebody told me. Saw a linebacker, dropped the shoulder on him. We popped and we stood up, and then Marco pushed me into the end zone.
Cannon got kind of stood up, and they started pushing him back, and I just figured go push the pile, and push him right into the end zone.
The touchdown and effort by the linemen, our IBC Bank Do More play of the game. IBC Bank, we do more. 42-39, but the PAT was missed. The third failed PAT or conversion by the Hawks, and it would hurt them in the end. Harlan's run game struggled in the contest as they rushed for only 90 yards, 72 of those from McDade. Wagner ran for 560 with LJ Butler going for 209 and 3 touchdowns, while Williams had 206 and 2 scores himself. Butler's third touchdown, the 7th rushing touchdown of the game for Wagner, gave them a 48-39 lead with 9:52 remaining. The Hawks weren't finished. Williams threw for 402 yards and 5 touchdowns, 3 of those to Andreas Spriggs, who had 226 yards receiving. The 5th and last one, though, went to Kamali Anderson to pull the Hawks within 48-46 with 7:16 remaining.
I just had to make a play to put us back in the game. I just had to do my job. I think he has something to do with that touchdown, whether it's like just it being the last touchdown of the season or having the ball come up to me like that.
With momentum back on their side, they needed just one defensive stop to get a shot at a game-winning field goal. Hawks had that opportunity. 3rd and 13 for Wagner, their own 12, but Isaiah Williams' pass complete to Josh Cobbs for 33 yards to the 45 for a first down. Fast forward, under 2 minutes remaining, another 3rd down for Wagner, but Williams with a 22-yard run down to the 18 iced the game. T-Birds ran out the final 7:16 of the game, and the Hawks never got the ball back. Harlan missed 3 extra points. They came up 2 points short, 48-46.
It was really frustrating, but I mean, like Cannon said, big players make big plays. They made big plays.
The loss capped off a tremendous first 2 years of varsity play in 5A as they prepare for 6A play in 2020.
I feel like we built up a lot of confidence in ourselves, especially with this last game. We put up a lot of fight. We showed that we're competitors in San Antonio.
We went from, I believe, a 2-8 record my sophomore year as a JV team. Then our first year on varsity, we made playoffs, went 2 rounds, and then, of course, this great season we had, we went undefeated, made it to the 3rd round. It's just a crazy experience for all of us.
In 2019, they shattered the record for most wins in the first 2 years of a varsity program with 20. They played for Kamali Anderson's brother Shamari, who passed away after the 2018 season.
We have to overcome any adversity that comes our way, whatever it is, so we just overcame it as a family, and we just started remembering him, started playing for him.
Every touchdown this season was dedicated to Shamari, but definitely the last one for sure.
All year, I think there's been signs that he's helped me succeed, helped me get put in that kind of position, like against Harlan. That when I caught the Hail Mary, I kind of felt him there. We got to keep fighting. This ain't finna be my last game, because I know how much this senior season would have meant to him.
Time now for the Harlan Hawk Moments of the Year, brought to you by 7-7 Dental and Orthodontics, open 7 days a week. 3 times in 2019, Harlan trailed a game 14-0, and all 3 times they came back to win. One of those times was against Harlandale in Week 6. On the last play of the first half, Cannon Williams' Hail Mary was answered by Kamali Anderson, and it broke a 21-21 tie, and the Hawks went on to roll the Indians 63-35. In Week 10, they traveled to Southwest looking to avenge their only district loss in school history. After giving up an early touchdown, they scored the game's final 38 points as the Dragon defense had no answer for Aubrey McDade, who ran for 259 yards and 4 scores. That set up Week 11's matchup against Laredo Martin for the district title. The Hawks held Martin under 100 yards of offense until the fourth quarter. By the time the Tigers finally reached that mark, it was 48-7 Harlan, and they gave Eddie Salas an ice bath as they went on to win 48-21 and celebrated being district champions. Those moments of the year brought to you by 7-7 Dental and Orthodontics, open 7 days a week, including Sunday. Reporting from the Alamodome, I'm Greg Sherman.